Talk of the town. Take
Wait,
six.
I think it's six.
Six.
Take
Yeah, it is
six.
six.
We here. We
Had a little
six.
holiday break.
Yep.
Hope everybody ate good. I know
I
I
did.
She,
definitely
I
did.
did. I did. But week 12 just passed in the league. Week 12. Week 13.
we still in week 12.
Yeah, we
Week
waited
12.
on.
Yeah, week
We got
12.
one more
Yeah,
game
because
tomorrow.
one more game. Yeah, I forgot. But the game of the week coming in, the Chiefs and the Bucks. That really wasn't much of a game. Zeke, I'll pass this to you. Just speak on what you saw from that game.
So, like, when you look at the game, 27-24 did not, like, really do justice to how lopsided that game really was. You know what I mean? Like, the Bucks made the goal line stand, forced them to 3 points, right? Then you get the strip sack fumble. So all right, cool. Like we'll give them that, right? But there was a lot of times where you see the Chiefs kind of let take their foot off the pedal a little bit because like they were torching that defense any way possible that they wanted. Like the Buccaneers couldn't tackle in space on Le'Veon Bell, not just Clyde Edwards-Helaire, like Le'Veon Bell. Sammy Watkins was converting every third down they had. Travis Kelsey was a mismatch for anyone. Tyreek Hill, like that spoke for itself. Like Miko Harmon dropped a touchdown. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't in the end zone, but he dropped a touchdown. Like the difference between those two teams is really like astronomical. Like one team you could see is like, yeah, like that's a real Super Bowl contender, and then the other you could see is they just lagging. Like it just looked bad. Like Brady did not look good. Like the Chiefs, they always seem to get timely turnovers when it matters. You know what I mean? Like so it's I still can't see no one beating them. Like I just don't.
Yeah, I mean this that Chiefs and Bucks game basically just set it in my mind. I think the Chiefs are going back to back. I
Yeah.
honestly think that they might repeat. That's honestly how good that they have looked in the past and are still looking now. Um, every week I watch the Bucks play, I just get like less and less interested. Kind of like I don't like how they look. Like Brady hasn't looked good. I think they're like 1-3 in their last four. So I think it's a real bad time for them to be hitting a slump. Um, but I definitely think the NFC is wide open. But I really think the rest of the season is just like a formality. I really think the Chiefs are going to win it all. Like there's no doubt in my mind about it.
I mean, my fears for Tampa coming in to the season are now surfacing. It was, would Brady be able to push the ball downfield? And these past 3 weeks versus like real comp versus good comp, Brady just hasn't shown up. Um, you know, I was on that Bucks, bandwagon. But I'm gonna have to jump off now. Like they just look bad on offense. Their defense is suffering because of that. They can't play the way they want to play simply because that offense, which should be putting up points, at a very high clip, just isn't. They have to start running the football. It's crazy how it's crazy how simple football can get. Just give it to Jones. 10 to 15 times per game. You
You say
have
10 to
Leonard.
15. He got to
Yeah,
touch the
10 to
ball at least
15.
20.
I
Like,
know, but I mean, you have. I mean, Leonard hasn't been that good this year. But Leonard has shown that he can
that's true too.
make a play here and there.
True.
So really they have to go through their running backs prior to getting to their weapons, which is very like crazy to say.
I think that's more Brady though. I think that's his offense. You know what I mean? Brady's always been based on like you get the running backs going in the running game, you get them going in the pass catching game, and then that's when you see him start to hit his
Hmm.
receivers. So, and I think where this Bruce Arian and like Tom Brady thing is like it's literally fire and ice. Like
Yeah.
one wants to push the ball downfield, the other rather pick you apart, play
Hmm.
ball control, and do
Hmm.
what he can do. So, like that just causes problems with the offense. And now you see they're both just starting to point fingers at each other, right? Like we've never seen Tom in that kind of situation in New England, and maybe because of coaching staff or maybe just because of where he was at. But like We don't see Tom throw little subtle shots at head coaches until it was like later in his New England years. Now he does it freely. Like for as much as we want to criticize Bill for how he handled Tom, Bill really never did it publicly.
Mm-hmm.
He always did that in house, right? So when you got Bruce Arians doing it publicly, like yeah, Tom Brady probably look at him like, yo, like who the fuck you really talking to? Like so that's gonna cause problems within that team and how they're doing things. I also just think that like the Chiefs defense is hurt and it's not what it was last year. And you gave the ball to Ronald Jones 9 times. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was at one point where every time the Chiefs touched the ball, they scored.
Yeah, I mean that. I mean,
Like
literally.
at that point.
I mean, literally that first half, it was like they were like playing like football at recess. You know,
Yes.
like literally like just chuck it and just go.
Yes.
And just easy.
And that's why I think like so when the Chiefs defense gets healthy, I think that's when you'll see that complete team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're doing is leaning on Pat Mahomes. Like it's really Pat and that offense that's really carrying it right now. And I think that's what makes it such a difference to where it was like I think the Bucs really needed to lean on their defense and their offensive play calling is not helping that. So when you put a team on the field for 37 minutes that the Bucs defense was on,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be tired. They were dead tired. They were playing man coverage for the first 3 possessions, which I did not understand. And then they sat in the cover 3 after that, and that didn't work either. Like they were just tired from running around chasing anyone at this point. And then I think what the Chiefs really did was expose Devin White and Levante David and putting the running back, putting their linebackers in space. So, and I think that they just went off after that. So,
I also think this week, Pat, like I think the MVP race is blown wide open. Like I don't think it's real. I think
it's over.
I think the only way he doesn't win it is if like the Seahawks win out and Russell Wilson is playing like out of his mind. But even then, I don't see Pat not winning it. It would just be disrespectful at this point to not give it to him.
Pat's touchdown to interception ratio is 30-2.
And they're 10-1.
And I'm like
he has, if I'm
really
not mistaken, I think he has like 3,200 yards, 3,200, 3,300 yards.
I hate numbers, but his raw numbers are just crazy. And the thing is, he has the film to match the numbers.
The eye test is perfect. It's beautiful. It's ridiculous.
Like that was I told my brother that I'm like, yo, that's the smoothest 462 yards I think I ever seen. Like it didn't even really seem like it after the whole Tyreek thing. And then like when you like look at it, Travis Kelce here, Sammy Watkins there, like Clyde here, Le'Veon Bell here. Like you really start like he was really picking that defense apart, yo. And they probably really would have scored 40 if, like I said, if I thought they should have went for it on 4th and 1. And then Pat, he just got strip sacked, so it happens. And that's another thing, though. Like I think that was crucial in the game too. Like the Chiefs felt comfortable enough to kick 3 points on the 2-yard line.
So that final drive, you got to peep that they also threw it a lot. The Bucs had like one timeout, but he put it in Patty's hands and said, "Hey, win it.
Win me the game.
Win it.
Like, win me the game."
And Patty went and did that.
Because that's exactly what he's going to do every single time. He's going to go win the game every single time.
Now, do y'all think that this was one of those Pat was just like, it's mine now? Like, it's mine. Give it to me. Like, it's my league. Like, for a minute, we've been saying it, but I think, like, he turned up.
He won the Super Bowl, but I could definitely see, like, what you mean by, like, the game against Brady and high power.
Yeah, okay.
He turned up on Brady, bro. Like, he really turned up on Brady, bro. And his jersey was white. Like, he got sacked twice. And, like, Tampa, that soggy grass. Like, Pat jersey was white. Like, he turned up on the Bulls, man. Like, I've been saying it. I've been on it for about 3 years now. Like, I think Pat been the best player in the league for 2 years. People better start figuring it out unless they going to end up doing some, like, 5 out of 7 type stuff when they just going to win. Because I do believe that they'll never spend another dollar on offense. But I do believe what you'll see now, they'll start spending money on defense and start drafting defense. So, and I think the moment that team gets complete that way, like, is what are you going to do?
Set up beautifully.
They are. Andy got them. He got them doing their thing. Like I really like that. But speaking of the AFC, NFC, I really just want to let y'all know, like, what do y'all think about the favorites coming out of the NFC?
Well, I don't even really think there is a favorite technically. I mean, I know New Orleans got the 1 seed, but like I said earlier, like the NFC is wide open, and I think the teams that are in the playoffs right now are going to stay there. Outside of, I think Washington is going to beat out the Giants.
I do too.
Other than that, I think the other 6 teams that are here is going to be the playoffs, and there's not really one team that I can look at and say they're definitely going to be in the Super Bowl. Right now, if I had to choose, it would either be Seattle or LA. Those are my 2 favorites out of the NFC. But like I said, it is like you can't really go with a wrong answer out of the NFC right now. Everybody's like solid. I feel like anybody who made it out could be like an okay test to the Chiefs. Like I said, I think the Chiefs are going to win it all again. But I think any 7, I mean, obviously outside the football team, I don't think they're going to make a run into the playoffs. Any of the other 6 could definitely make it, and they could give the Chiefs a game. So, yeah, I definitely think the NFC is wide open. It's going to be fun to watch for sure.
My favorite for now is the Saints, actually. And the reason I have the Saints is simply because I think that they have the most talented roster. Like there aren't many holes, but the thing with them is injuries. Like they haven't been a full team this whole year. So if they're able to get healthy, I have them coming out, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Seattle, just get hot and just start clicking.
So you say that about Seattle. Like I think that could be the same case with the Rams. And I think that's more so matchup with the Rams. Like I don't think it's
trust Jared Goff.
I trust that defense though. Like they literally had the recipe to make it difficult for an offense to really do what they need to do. Like it just sucked because Jared Goff is Jared Goff. So like last week, like they just were on the field too long, and like it's Kyle Shanahan. Like he's gonna find a way to score. You know what I mean? But it's just when you look at that defense, like they literally had the recipe to beat the teams that we just talked about. Like when you think about Seattle, Jalen Ramsey's going to take DK Metcalf out the way, right, and make everyone else beat you. And then the Rams, everyone can game plan against everyone else in Russ. And when you take out DK Metcalf, same thing with Mike Thomas. Like if Jalen Ramsey was to see Mike Thomas, there's no doubt in my mind, I think he would do the same thing. So I think they have the recipe, and they have the 2 of the top 10 players in the league with Aaron Donald, who's a game changer up front. So like I think if that team gets hot, if they somehow disguise Jared Goff enough, because you're going to have to disguise him a little bit, I think they could also be a problem. I like Seattle simply just because of Russ. Like, so if they were to make a push, I think it'd just be because of Russ. And then I'm not sold on New Orleans when you got a gadget playing quarterback. Like, I just can't be sold on it. Like, maybe if Jameis played, I would feel a little bit better about them maybe making some noise. But when you got Taysom Hill, like, what has he shown that made me realize, like, oh, the Saints are a good football team?
I mean,
not a damn thing.
I mean, me personally, I am banking on Drew coming back for the playoffs.
I feel like that might hurt them. I mean, even though he'll have like fresh legs, I feel like
it would hurt them.
And I feel like even though he would have fresh legs, being older, like it would help them in a sense, but I feel like it would hurt them for the fact that he hasn't been out there and playing with Taysom Hill. That's a completely different style of football that they're playing. They're not playing anyway. With Taysom
you got to revert back literally to a whole different.
And then having to do that while playing a different way for so many weeks in a row, it could because in the playoffs all it takes is one game. So now you lose that one game, now it's over. I feel like it'll be tough for the Saints. I think Drew Brees needs to try to come back as soon as he can, so he can at least get some runs in and not his first game.
Drew better make sure he could breathe. KJ, make sure he could come back. He got to make sure he could breathe. He got shattered ribs everywhere. Like he gonna have to be in a Kevlar vest to be able to play football.
I mean, they have that top seed, so they would have that bye to put that offense back, in place. Should he not get back to to the playoffs. But like, there is no way that I don't see that team playing football in the playoffs without Drew Brees. Me personally.
I feel like if Jameis would fit with like Sean Payton
I
wants
know.
to
I
do.
do, bro.
Like I really
I
do.
I was so hurt when Jameis didn't get that start and not.
Like I was like, why? Because
Yeah,
Taysom
exactly.
Hill got guaranteed money. Like he's sorry. He's not good. Like he really sorry.
Yeah,
And if they played against a
Taysom is
good
really out of
defense,
everything.
like I mean, like even if they were to play the Bucks again with Taysom Hill, I think the Bucks would win that game. In all seriousness, because like it'll just play into what they need. Like I don't think he's a good gadget player, but he's not a franchise quarterback or starting quarterback. Like Jameis Winston literally has the experience of playing quarterback in that division in the NFL, and he could throw the ball. Like let Sean Payton groom him, mold him, and do what he do best. Like you can't keep doing it because you got guaranteed money into it. Like the players don't even like Taysom Hill, so that should have told you everything you did right there. Like you just gotta go with Jameis Winston, and I don't believe in him. I just don't. But I think where things are going to get heated, I think is the AFC though, and I think the AFC is key
That
in
guy,
matchup.
that got weird quick.
Very, very weird.
Like the way the Raiders played on Sunday was like
Trifling.
what happened, and that is really like that really threw the whole race out of whack completely. They're at 6-5 now.
I think the Ravens are
Second
going
fantasy.
to helping hand because Tennessee plays Cleveland this week, and I think that's a win for Tennessee. So when
I
Cleveland,
think that game is going to be closer than people think.
I definitely think it'll be closer, and I think it'll be real low scoring just because they're both like gutted out, kind of run the ball teams. But I definitely like Tennessee because in that kind of game, Baker's going to have to make a play at some point, and I don't think he does.
What do I always say?
But hear me out
What
though.
do I always
hear me out.
say?
Hear me out.
What do I always
Hear
say?
me out.
Put the
Listen.
ball in Baker Mayfield's hands.
Hear me out. I think the Browns get this one, right? I think they've been hot. I think they've been playing well. And the
On the
reason
road?
why I think Baker gets it done this one time. Because I think one, I don't really like the Titans defense. Like there's nothing spectacular about it. So I think like if there was for a play to be made, he has the room to do so. You know what I mean? But I just think that the way the flow of the game is going to go is going to be so much Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and two tight ends that the one time that they're like, I just feel like the play action is going to come at the right time, and Baker just makes the play. And it's not even going to be to Jarvis. Like it might be to someone that we was just like, why wouldn't you cover him? But I feel like the Browns get it done this week. Personally, I just think they get it done this week.
I just don't see that happening. See,
I know.
Zeke.
I mean, I called it on the Bucks too, though. Anybody believe me? I said they were suspect 3 weeks ago.
You
I'm
did.
telling you.
I would
telling
do that.
You did.
If there was one game where we would be like, okay, we got to take the Browns serious, it'd be this one. And I think Stefanski, he got them ready, man. Like the defense is finally getting healthy. They playing well. Like I think this is the week. And not for nothing, they are a very stingy team in the red zone. They don't give up many points in the red zone.
That's true.
So I think it's all just gonna play a factor.
I still think the Browns really don't get in because they have to play Tennessee this week. Don't they still have to play Pitt and Baltimore one more time?
That mean they would have to lose
game,
5 straight times, bro.
That game,
you really see them losing 5 straight times?
They won't have to lose 5. It's the fact. Okay, so Cleveland has 3 losses, and then Miami, Indy, Baltimore all have 4, and then Vegas has 5. If Cleveland loses to Tennessee, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh, there's no reason why they can't get knocked out, and they could very
they beat Baltimore, but they realistically, right? If we're like doing like what ifs and everything, if Cleveland get to 10, they're in. That would mean they would have beat Baltimore. So if Cleveland gets to 10, they're in.
Do they get to 10 now? That's the question.
I think they'll beat Baltimore.
They played the Giants and the Jets.
Oh, if they play Giants and ours, then maybe.
We will see the Cleveland Browns in the first time in the playoffs in a very long time. But I think when we take them serious would be on a game like this weekend when they play the Titans. So they might like if they beat the Titans, I can literally be like, that's a team you probably wouldn't want to play because of how physical they'll be, the defense that they'll bring, and then like
No, they're gonna
They
run
got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. You know what I mean? Like a run game carries in any playoff unless you're the Chiefs. So I just think that this will be the week where they make their statement, and I'm sticking to that.
Okay. You can stick with
Hammer.
that, but I am not ready to make that jump on or with them yet. Now, if they're able to run with Tennessee and keep that close, then I'm picking them over the Ravens. You know, and that will tell me that they're a playoff team. But if they come out and they just get spanked like how the Titans just beat Indy, you know, then I'll keep being skeptical of them.
What I
Really
like about
because
them is
Baker
like
Mayfield, because
when they get hot,
because it's
though,
gonna come down to him.
it is gonna come down to. I think he's due for one of those games.
He already had it.
Where when he hasn't had it yet.
Against Cincinnati. He literally willed them to a win. He had 5 touchdowns, drove down game-winning drive.
You talk about the Bengals, man.
That was
We talk
Baker.
about the Bengals. That's what I'm saying. Like it's the
We
Bengals.
talking about like we talking about some
Baker
game
doesn't
that
have
actually
good games.
matters.
Baker doesn't have good games in those kind of games. He doesn't. I haven't seen it.
You know what? I'm telling you, it's gonna happen this week. It's gonna happen this week. But I like Buffalo sitting at the 4. I think Buffalo's a good matchup. I think with anybody, to be honest. I do think that's a dangerous team. I think the Colts, like we all have said, it just really depends on Phillip Rivers. Like if you get good Phillip, I think you'll see a Colts team that competes with anybody. But if you see inconsistent Phillip, they get smacked by the Titans. So
I mean,
the AFC is just really competitive.
this past week for Indy, it was kind of difficult because they were down 3 starters on defense. They were down 2 linemen and a backer, and we saw Derrick Henry like run crazy, you know. So I'll chalk that to injuries. You know, I'm still high on Indy. You know, even though people are starting to notice them, I can't keep them as a sleeper anymore.
Right.
But yeah, I still like Indy as the 3rd best team. Oh no, the 4th best team. Excuse me. Coming out of that conference. I think that the Ravens sneak in.
I need to see something from Lamar first.
I think
I need
that
to-
the Ravens sneak in.
I need to.
I can't give that to them.
I'm not giving it to the Ravens. I'm just less confident in the Raiders keeping that. And the Dolphins are looking like a little shaky right now.
I think with the Dolphins, right? You could tell me if I'm crazy. I think they won this weekend just because simply it was the Jets, right?
Mhm.
But like what I noticed is when Tua came in, there was a certain juice.
A certain energy.
Like it was a certain energy throughout that entire team that I was just like, oh yeah, like there are going to be problems for people. You know what I mean? And then I think, like, is Ryan Fitzpatrick their guy? Of course. But I think they truly believe that Tua was going to get them the ball, you know what I mean, in certain situations. So they just play differently. Like if they would have lost that game Sunday against the Jets, like I would have wiped them off completely. But I just really believe like when Tua came in, the defense felt like, oh, it's our responsibility. Devontae Parker, like he was already making those catches, but he started doing it at a really high rate. Mike Gesicki became more of a player. You know what I mean? The run game got more effective. So it's like when he's in, there's a certain juice. You know what I mean? So it's like I need to see Tua more Miami before I can really be like they're going to be problems. You know? So I just think I just need more Tua in Miami before I could go on them.
As of right now, I just see the Dolphins losing their. I mean, not like losing their way out, as in like they'll like just like lose every game, but they got the Chiefs, they got the Patriots, they got the Raiders, and the Bills.
I think they go 2-3.
They beat the Chiefs.
They beat the Chiefs.
No. They'll beat the Patriots. I'm sorry. They'll beat the Raiders. The Bills game is gonna be a crazy game. But I think if both those teams win out, I still think Miami gets in anyway, right? I think off numbers, because if they beat the Raiders, that knocks them out. They beat the Patriots, that knocks them out.
Yeah.
So I think they'll get in based off numbers.
But the Ravens, they have Pitt obviously tomorrow.
I think the Ravens win that game too. I really do.
You think the Ravens win that game?
I do.
I don't see it.
That's like the equivalent to my Browns pick.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, Dallas, at Cleveland versus Jacksonville versus the Giants at the Bengals. So,
and this is like not the Cowboy fan to me, TS, but they're gonna lose to the Cowboys. That's all I'm gonna say. They're gonna lose to the Cowboys.
The Ravens.
Did we see the way they played on Thanksgiving?
But the Cowboys lost in a similar fashion, came out and beat Minnesota, right? In a way that I'm telling you, I think they'll do it.
I don't see. I just don't.
I'm telling you. Next week when we record, and y'all was like, "Yo, he got to be a genie." I'm telling y'all, I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Okay. I doubt it, but that's. I mean, Zeke.
That's a bold take.
Yeah, that's
I'm
two like
2 on the bold statements.
Those are two like confident bold statements.
I do. I got the Browns winning this weekend.
So that means so in the 2 games that you've like told us who you thought were gonna win, you're putting your trust in Baker Mayfield
and Andy Dalton.
That's what you're doing.
Ezekiel Elliott. It's not even more so Andy Dalton. It's more so Ezekiel Elliott.
We don't know which
Baltimore defense.
We don't know which Zeke is coming out, and from like week to week.
I mean, but it's not necessarily always Zeke's fault though. Cowboy fan now. It's not always Zeke's fault though. Like we missing a lot of linemen right now.
That is true.
So we can't. Sometimes if Zeke get going early, regardless of the lineman or whatever, then you'll see a different Cowboy team. But being that the offensive lineman is not there intact, like of course we're not gonna know what Zeke we're getting, but I know what Amari Cooper will get. You know what I mean? Like I know Coop's been playing. He's been playing consistent. Like CeeDee Lamb has been emerging. You know what I mean? Like Dalton Schultz. So I know who we can get, and I don't trust the Ravens defense because they've been getting exposed the past 3 weeks. So that's just my fandom. I'm gonna hammer that one in too, and I'm make me some money off them 2 bold picks. I'm gonna do
Zeke with the locks.
With the locks. Now y'all don't go taking those locks. That's me. But, yeah. But that's I think that was really it towards our sports talk. Wasn't not really too exciting. I think it was your typical
NFL week.
Yeah, NFL week. I think your contenders really showed who they were. The Chiefs are the best team in the NFL, and then it's everyone else. And get ready for week 13. Well, week 12 still goes on tomorrow. And then week 13, we just gonna see what's up.
Yeah.
But normally, ladies and gentlemen, we go towards the basketball part of our show, but we want to switch it up a little bit. Let's talk the state of music, man. A couple new rappers, they've been up and coming. R&B and soul is doing this thing. So I just want to know, KJ, what do you think about the new age rappers?
I'm actually a fan of the new age rappers. I know I would say I know a lot of people who don't like the new age rap in the way the sound of it more say. But I'm definitely a big fan. I like people like Polo G and Lil Durk, Lil Baby, all those kind of people. I like it because it brings a new sound. It's not they each have their own sound. I feel rap before it was a lot of rap, it wasn't a lot of music making.
Yeah, East Coast, West Coast, yeah.
It wasn't a lot of music making necessarily. It was who had the best bars kind of thing. And don't get me wrong, because I like rappers who could rap, but I definitely like the way the new music is going. There's a lot of versatility, and I just feel it's a lot of new music, a lot of new sounds, and I like hearing new stuff. Drake is always gonna be the best out though. Drake is always gonna be.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Always.
Yeah, I think we all could agree on that one.
Wait, best artist? Best artist or like best like rapper?
Artist.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're talking about pure artistry.
he's an
Fair
artist. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the new rappers, yo. I can't get into it. Like, I don't like Lil Durk. And it's not to discredit his music or anything. It's just I can't get into that. Like, that's
Fair
not
enough.
me. You know what I
Fair
mean?
enough.
Like, I can't. So you can't have me sitting down listening to Lil Durk and me being like, "Oh, yo, this shit raw." Nah, I'm gonna just be like, all right, it's nice, but I'm never probably gonna download it. So it's like with me, it's just it's weird. Like I'm weird with it. But and the reason why I say I'm weird with it because then I like Lil Baby though, and then I like Gunna. I like Lil Uzi.
Gunna?
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm weird with it. Like I don't like all the new rappers, but like certain rappers' tunes I get in tune with. So and yeah, Gunna tough.
I can't. I just can't get right with Gunna. There's no way.
I mean, so even though he isn't a new rapper per se, he kind of like birthed this like Thug, like I am a Young Thug fan, but
Okay.
Thug
yeah,
it, bro.
yeah, yeah. But like many of like the other like new artists, like at first it was like, all right, I can't like hear this, like turn it off, But I listened to Polo G's album, like 3 times this summer, and like on each listen, it grew on me, Like I'm not big on Baby, but like I know like his big songs, Same with Dirk, and Dirk is like starting to grow on me too. But
feature.
Yeah, he is. But
That trick feature.
But really, what I'm a big fan of in like this new era is the soul music. Like,
Facts. Big facts.
it's just like pure. Like, it's like it honestly brings me so much peace when I just have on these headphones and I just like go. Just brings me so much peace.
I think for a minute R&B was like R&B and soul was for a minute was like it was dreaded, bro. Like it wasn't for a minute. It was like no one really wanted to hear it. Like you know what I mean. You had your Chris Browns, you had your Trey Songz, you had your old heads who occasionally drop music, but it was like there was nothing to be excited about. You know what I mean? But now it's like with the new artists, with the this whole like neo soul or the old soul, like it just it's nice to hear. You know what I mean? So it's I think the state of music right now is actually in a good spot. In regards to like rapping, R&B, like artists. I just think right now, I think music is in a really good spot.
So how do y'all feel like how we take in music has changed now that people that are making our favorite songs are like our peers?
That's a good question. I think it's creative as hell, honestly. Like I'm gonna bring him up again, but it was like, not that everybody got the same tune, but like we think about like somebody like Gunna, like his sound is his sound. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Baby sound is Baby sound. Like, and even though they might have been influenced by Thug and everything of that nature, but it's like they are who they are. You know what I mean? And it's like no one tries to interfere with anyone else's sound. Like they actually like to work together now. Like I think that was an issue in the past before where everybody didn't want to work with each other. But it's like people want to do joint tapes, joint songs, remixes, like so I just gotta give them credit. Like if you're 21 doing your thing, like then you just 21 doing your thing. Like so it's like creative genius.
I mean, it's definitely cool. It's definitely cool for us to have like people see people our age like cover with the music stuff because obviously growing up, the people we were big on, it wasn't nobody that was 13 and 14 out here. I mean, unless you're bringing up people like Chief Keef, who was making
16,
15,
16.
It's like, but I mean, it's like, it's definitely crazy to see how many young people are coming up. Like, there's even some artists from like around here, like close to Philly, even in Trenton, you could say. So, I just think it's good to see people being creative. It's always good to see someone's art. And hearing new art is always fun.
Always fun.
Always fun. And just the fact that now it is people our age, like these are the I'm not gonna say this for everybody, but like for me, like these are artists that I could tell my kids that like when I was 21 in college, like these are the artists that I was listening
to.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. That's facts.
Able to do that.
And then even having people that we like know that are going out and like they got their own projects, you know, like they got like they singles, like that's just like beautiful to see for me. So kind of just to wrap this up, you know, let's dish out our top 5 favorite artists right now. You know, Zeke, you know, is hype over there, so you know, we'll start with you.
My top 5 favorite artists out. Number 1, of course, Drake. Drake on a different level. It's not even touchable right now. I think he's the hottest artist out. Number 2, Hove. I think he gets a pass on being out.
You told us no Hove.
Nah, I said Hove don't count. I said Hove don't count. I said he get a pass because you know what I mean. Like even though 444 was a couple years ago, but you know Hove is Hove. So, 3 I got Wale. Me and my brother TS, we share a bond on Wale right there. 4 is Future, absolutely. Like I listen to Future every day. And then 5, I'm gonna go with Rest His Soul, Nipsey Hussle. I listen to Nip every day too.
Respect. That's interesting. Respect. All right, yeah. So 1, I'm gonna have to go with Drake, obviously. 2 is J. Cole. That's been my 1, 2 for I don't know, probably the past 5 years.
Cole is tough.
3 is when I start going to the young bulls. Personal favorite 3 is Polo G. I just think his style, his versatility. I think he's different. Like I really think he next up out of the young like people who's gonna like live on the Billboard charts. I think Polo G is one of those kind of artists. 4, I gotta go Meek. You know, Meek was my top 3, but he hasn't dropped much lately. The little 4 for 4 thing he did it was
decent.
But like I said, Meek has done.
Oh, it wasn't decent. It was tough.
Okay.
Like you had to connect with it to really get it. Like 444 was OD, bro.
No.
I'm not talking about Jay-Z.
No. We talking about Meek's Meek's last project that he dropped on like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean,
I apologize to all the fans. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. But
I mean that EP was it like wasn't as good as like Meek usually is, but it was alright. But like I said, Meek's like past work is just too good to deny he's still up there. And then 5, I'm gonna have to go G Herbo. A lot of people don't like Herb. They say he raps off beat. I think G Herbo is one of the best rappers we got today. He's crazy, honestly. So that's my top 5.
G Herbo?
G Herbo. And if you don't like G Herbo, then you need to come sit down with me and I'll dump you some G Herbo because that means you ain't been listening to the right G Herbo.
Wow. So y'all got all rappers. I got like some like soul artists in there that's like dropping like new stuff. So
I don't want to add them in no TS because I don't want to, you feel me? But I got 2 that I like, but you feel me? I ain't want to add them.
But my favorite artist right now, number 1, Wale Falari. Easy. Like literally everything he touches is gold right now. That's 2, I have Ari Lennox. She drops nothing but heat.
Yeah, she look good.
3, I got Dreezy. Dreezy is a rapper, female rapper. I'm not sure if y'all heard her on the Dreamville album. Her verse on Got Me was the best verse on the whole album by far. Wasn't even close. Number 4, I got Snow. That project she dropped last year. Man. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. And then 6, I got Black. You know, Black just doesn't miss ever. But that's my top 5.
Crazy fact about Snow, right? Before COVID happened, I was supposed to go to a concert. It got canceled because of COVID. So Snow is. Yeah.
Fun fact.
Snow is it. She is.
But that's all for this week. Goodness gracious. Is that it? Nothing.
I think so.
Nothing.
Actually, fans, let us know what y'all think, man. Let us know who y'all favorite 5 artists are.
Yeah.
Debate with us. comment. Let us know. Let us know your 5. We'll appreciate the feedback.
So that's it for this week. Y'all be easy.
It's always fun.
Absolutely.
Always fun.